retarded bitch. Okay, so there's been a video drop about Quinton Reviews. I hear it's a follow-up to a Twitter thread that failed to get a lot of traction. So this person made a video. It's only got 300 views right now, so this is fresh stuff. Obviously, Quinton Reviews, big YouTuber. I think it's kind of fallen off in the last couple of years, but he was really kind of big for like making like reviews of sort of like kid shows and stuff like that. He did like a big iCarly series. I believe she edited the iCarly stuff. He did like a lot of videos about Doctor Who and stuff like this. Very gay stuff, to be honest. But I used to like his content. He was a bit more of like a righty, like many years ago, and then he sort of turned into like a super safe lefty type. Sucked off ContraPoints in this really gay video, like really hard. But we'll just get into it. I think we'll see what the claims are. Obviously, former editor here, coming up with an exposed video, and we'll just we'll see what's going on.
All right, fine. I'll make an actual video talking about my experiences with Quinton Reviews.
So, is this a trans woman, or is this a cis woman? I can't tell currently.
Hello, everyone. My name is Julia, known on the internet as FlowerGothic, and I edited Quinton Reviews' first two
Reviews, okay, we're off to a great start. This seems like a high IQ individual.
iCarly videos. I edited the majority of I Binged iCarly, and I was essentially the sole editor for the end of iCarly.
Okay.
While editing,
So yeah, in the credits,
I was overworked, underpaid, and I eventually realized that he never treated me as a friend, even though he called me one. Oh, and if you think I'm lying about that...
This person does not seem mentally sound. I'm getting serious, like, mentally ill vibes just from the mannerisms and pattern of speech, but it could also be drunk. I don't know. Was that an alcoholic drink? Yeah. So it could also be drunk. There could be an alcoholic or something. I'm not sure. So what have we got in these DMs? I think you're an awesome, funny person, a great friend. I'm grateful to have you around. Now get some rest. Like, Han. Okay. Lol. You my homie. Okay. Let's stop real quick and thank many people, my friends Hippie Rat and FlowerGothic for watching the show with me so I wouldn't be so lonely doing this crazy stuff, to my editors for taking the reins on huge chunks of this video, and to my Patreon supporters for helping fund my editors and all the video games I bought for this video and all that stuff. You guys make the channel possible, it means so much. But finally, a massive thanks goes out to the sponsor of today's video. Okay, guys, like, sub, donate, thank you very much. Just, he's reminded me there, so...
Today, I want to talk about the year and a half I associated myself with Quinton, and how he ended up kind of fucking me over. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Fuck if I know. I've talked...
Okay, so we're already off to a really fucking bad start here when you're accepting that the very vague term fucking me over is like possibly overblown, but...
about this before on social media, but some dear friends of mine encouraged me to make an official call-out video to get the word out more in a way that's not me drunkenly yelling at people on Twitter. So let's do this.
So you decide to drunkenly yell at people on video instead? Okay.
Our story starts in February 2020 with Garfield Eats. I half-jokingly made a story on my Instagram asking for Garfield Eats to come to Houston, which is my hometown and where I lived at the time. The Garfield Eats Instagram liked it, and I didn't think much of it until a couple of weeks later, when I was added by Garfield Eats to a group chat where they were asking fans of the restaurant to invest in their expansion that ended up never happening. One of the other people in that chat was Quinton.
Okay. Alright, wait. So we've got to read these DMs. Okay, so... Wow, Quinton, thank you. Now you enjoy perks and access to Garfield Eats meetings when target reached. Thank you very much. That spread like a Goth virus. Ironic. Okay. Fuck, I messed up in front of that god. This is so epic. It really is. We have 48 grand to go, right? Yeah, not what I meant. I already love this chat. I'm going to see if any friends want to invest with me. Great, I'm looking into it. Thank you, FlowerGothic, always. Okay.
At this point, I knew of him, but I wasn't necessarily a fan. I knew he made that popular hashtag change the channel video and a couple other things, but I never watched them, or if I did, I don't remember. Oh, and if you're wondering, he gave Garfield Eats like $100 or something for their expansion. Eventually, Garfield Eats let their Vanvestors, yes, that's
This is trans person, I'd say this person is very T-star clocked, right? I'm clocking right now. I'm clocking personally. If this is a cis person, I'm genuinely surprised. But also there's the whole issue of them being completely drunk, which makes it very hard to identify because drunk women do often talk like trans women, let's be honest. Cannot say the word wine in YouTube chat. I don't know.
That's what they really called us, have a Zoom meet and greet with Nathan Masry himself on April 20th.
Oh, come on now.
Nathan Masry himself on April 20th.
It was announced on the 20th. The actual Zoom call was 4 days later.
I went because I had nothing better to do, and lo and behold, Quinton was there too, wearing a fucking Garfield cap. Nathan Masry then confused me for Strange Aeons. No, really, he actually did that. Oh, you...
Okay, well you don't... I feel like that Strange Aeons girl looks a lot less trans than this, for sure.
Don't believe I was in that meeting? And that was the first genuine interaction Quinton and I had? Well, let's look at his Garfield plush video.
And it seemed like
Woman's supposedly 23 years old, dude. Lay off the booze, what the fuck? This is the alcohol, it's gotta be, right?
people were there to troll him or put him on the spot.
There I am! That's me! That's me trying to process everything that's being said in the chat! I posted about it on Twitter and
This person is like so fucking annoying, dude. Holy shit.
Quinton liked and retweeted a bit of it. I think I followed him at that point. I don't remember. It was certainly around that time. And that was that. Until a month and a half later. My friend Superdark was on Quinton's Discord server for a while, and they asked me if I wanted to be invited to it. I said, sure.
Notice how the level in the glass changes constantly. Alright, we'll see at the cut. We'll see at the cuts.
Why not? And I got in. Quinton immediately recognized my username and asked if we met before. I mentioned that I was on the Garfield Eats call, and he remembered the whole Strange Aeons thing.
Alright, so like political or just somewhat delusional. Yes, he often tends to buy into any conspiracy theory he reads online, and once a few years ago he maybe briefly claimed that COVID was a hoax, but he took that one back. Met through that. FlowerGothic guy met through that actually. That is true. He thought I was Strange Aeons. Yikes, I remember that.
Quinton and I would periodically talk, never in the DMs though.
Brutal. Wait, it's actually the. Oh, it's a Brutal Steam McDonald's. No, I was playing along to the bit. I understand sometimes I'm gullible as fuck. Same law. Been same hippie same. Literally because I told me it was any Beatles parody. I believe you because there are some off Beatles dudes. What? I'm struggling to get what her point is yet, but we'll keep going.
Always in his server, and even took some of my suggestions, like showing video from Mr. Personality in his O.J. Simpson video, and to cut short the Madonna bit in his TikTok video because he fucking explained the joke in the original before the cut to the parody. Who the fuck does that?
This person is like really, really unlikable, right? Or do I just hate women? This bitch is really annoying.
Sorry. I get really intense when there's a crime against comedy. But the biggest one was perhaps the title to his CN Real video. He had trouble thinking of one as he wanted it to explicitly mention Cartoon Network and that it was about the CN Real blog. I pitched Cartoon Network's failed live-action blog and, well, he followed me on Twitter after that video got released, and I reminded him I pitched the title. Throughout the next few months, I managed to befriend Quinton. I got the coveted do not kick role in his...
Weppy, are you clocking right now? How you feeling? Cis or trans? What's... Are we clocking?
Discord. Made that masked Quinton edit he uses his Twitter profile for a bit, and I even befriended his biggest yes man, Hippie, and appeared on his channel in a since privated or deleted video.
There were 2 commentary track videos so far, and both of them feature an archivist. Really hoping the main character says any single word in time movie, and both times been disappointed. Vouch from Willie's one lambs. I just don't know what's being fucking said. Like, what is the point of any of this?
By the way, Hippie, if you're watching this, I hold no ill will against you. I just wish you haven't drunk the Kool-Aid, so to speak. Side note about Quinton's Discord. I've said it before and I wish I had receipts of this, but I sadly only have this. Sadly only have this.
I have something to vent about that's like stupid, you know, hop on in, listen to how bad you're doing, we'll never have fucked up as badly enough to rent the Gibby pilot. Still want to vent, I assume means there.
But Quinton used his server as talk therapy. There would be times where he would just hop on and say, hey, is anyone around? I'm feeling down and I want to talk to someone, or something along the lines of that. And
okay, so that's like Stardust behavior. However, I don't understand how this is like, why is this being included? Like, yeah, okay, so he was a bit of a sped that, you know, desperately reached out for emotional support on the internet. Okay. Cool. Why is this in your exposed video?
basically whoever happened to be on at the moment had to lift his spirits or whatever. Again, I sadly don't have any screenshots of those chats, so unless someone else leaks them, you're gonna have to take my word on it. Now, you may be thinking, wait a second, Flower, what about iCarly? Where's the iCarly editing story? We're about to get to it. I wanted to give a bit of a prelude before I talked about it. With everything I said on Twitter and TikTok, it's easy to believe that Quinton and I's association didn't begin until I started editing the iCarly videos. That's not true, and this was meant to show that we knew each other for a while beforehand. It has the added effect of me putting a bit too much trust in Quinton, since I considered him a friend and he told me he considered me a friend. But let's get on with it. Again, I mostly addressed this in a Twitter thread, so if any of this sounds like rehashing, I do apologize. 1 month before I—
Bro, like, all of her mannerisms piss me off. I don't know if I'm being just like a complete hater, but like, holy fuck. She's like really annoying. She's like so fucking annoying. Like, I don't even know how to express it. It's just like the... Like, can you not just act like a normal person for 5 fucking minutes? You're trying to do an exposed video here, no? You're trying to like lay out the evidence for why this guy's fucked you over. But yeah, exactly. It's just so grating.
I binged, iCarly dropped, things were moving super slow. Minimal progress, so to speak. Quinton had no real assets to work with, and if memory serves me right, he was just scratching the surface of season 2. I remember Quinton having little
like that. Just act like a normal fucking person. Is she like seriously just plastered making this video?
On in mid-May because that was the same time I turned 21, which in America is a very significant birthday, because that's when you can finally drink. So
yeah, significant for you maybe. Yeah, I can tell.
When Quinton was lamenting about looking for editors to get the video out before the iCarly revival, I volunteered myself. I spent 8 hours of my May 16, 2021 editing Quinton's thoughts on the pilot, which was the tryout everyone who applied had to do. Here was Quinton's reaction.
And here you go. Wow. Okay, so quick note. And this is the thing, you had no reason to know. I'm trying to avoid any visual references to Dan Schneider or the feet thing, with one exception. I'm telling you this because it seems like you got the gig from what I've seen here. Okay, so you followed my short second clips were all a little too closely. For the most part, 1 to 2 clips per sentence is the most you need. So yeah, my notes are... Okay, so just giving notes on the editing. Never show Dan Schneider's name unless I tell you to. The cuts in the locker scene are a bit heavy. Otherwise, I'm happy with this. What I'm going to do now is download this and move bits of your visuals over to the edit. I already did because you did some stuff that's great. Then I'm going to get the whole thing wrapped up and then record more stuff to send over to you. My idea at the moment is I'm probably going to edit the audio and get the timing right and then send you an MP4 where all you have to do is fill in empty blank areas.
So yeah, I was hired like immediately. Was there a contract? No. Why didn't I ask for one? 2 reasons. 1, this was my very first real editing gig. I was fresh to the scene, as they say, and honestly, I had no clue that contracts were a necessity, too.
Okay, contracts are smart. However, I think most editors in like YouTube shit, you've got to be on like quite a high level of production to be starting to draw up contracts. I feel most editing is done sort of like just like as verbal contracts, right? I think.
I had a major admiration for Quentin. I thought, hey, he's worked with people before. He knows the drill. I placed my...
Exactly, you've just nuked all your potential future opportunities by coming out with this fucking video.
Now, during the majority of my time editing I Binged iCarly, I was in a 3-week, 15-day symposium for college where we made 2 short films. These classes lasted about 4 hours, not including an hour break for lunch. So I would wake up at 7 a.m., go to class at 9, stay there till like 2 or 3, and go home and edit iCarly until like 9 or 10 p.m. Taking breaks, of course, for dinner and bathroom stuff, but only those 2 things. In total, I was working about 7 hours a day on that iCarly video, along with school and my own content. And as I said before, I was the sole guest editor for seasons 1 and 2. By the time season 3 was being edited, more editors joined, and my workload reduced. Even then, Quentin credited me for saving the project.
Oh my god, why did she flash up so quick, dude? 2-ish gaps left, but in both those places I thought just leaving the graphics as a black screen was funnier. Well, I'll be able to check sometimes weekend, cool. But I think you should definitely take a few days off. You've done a lot of great work. Really, you've just about saved the project. Okay, so just saying good job. We did season 1 is looking great because of you. This is not my first year's editing gig. I mean, it's iCarly. Let's call it your first editing gig.
Payment was not discussed until after the video was released. Hell, I didn't even know how much I would get paid until...
Well, why didn't you fucking ask?
The video dropped. He offered $2,000, of which PayPal took a cut. I know I took like 2 or 3 days off while editing, but all in all, I was working 6 or 7 days a week on that mess. I didn't even know I was being underpaid until experienced editors pointed it out to me. Once the videos were out... Once the video was out, Quentin worked on the Victorious video because he wanted his then long hair that he was planning to cut to be his style for that video for reasons I don't quite remember. And I worked on my own content. But even then, I still watched Victorious along with him and Hippie. I gave him notes and everything. Hell, 2 of the jokes in the Victorious video were from my notes.
Oh, two of the jokes? A woman wrote 2 jokes? They can't usually manage 1, so that's pretty impressive, guys, right?
You could argue that Rex and Robbie are, in a way, a representation of the Freud psychoanalytic theory, which posits that there are numerous different aspects of our personalities which we strive to strike a balance between. Transpires that Cat has used a parody of Gorilla Glue for the adhesive, meaning the makeup is stuck to Tori's face, and also that the writers predicted Gorilla Glue Girl.
And he gave me and Hitpiece special thanks in the original ending for the first Victorious video. Also, did you know that the Victorious video was intended to only be...
Yeah, like, why are you including the fucking jokes? Like, oh, guys, I was funny this one time. Absolute woman moment here. Okay.
The entire iCarly video essay series was meant to only be, like, 6 videos. 2 for iCarly, 1 for Victorious, 1 for Sam and Cat, 1 for all of Dan Schneider's fuckery, and 1 for the reboot. Now
yeah, I'm absolutely convinced this is a cis woman now. She's proven it. It's okay, never mind. Clock failed. Absolute cis woman, yep.
6 videos in, and
she is.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to go into too much information, but there is an OnlyFans available for people to look into.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Bugs Wonder has seen proof that this is a cis woman, I guess.
He hasn't even finished Sam and Cat. Think about that. One more thing before I discuss End of iCarly. If you saw my Duggar video, you would know that my travel companion got really sick while we were in Arkansas and I had to take them to urgent care. Throughout the entire trip, I periodically messaged Quinton about it, especially since I was originally going to go for the Josh Duggar trial. He seemed very passive.
Oh my god. Well, so yes, this is for a video, lol. I figured, well, good luck with what, lol. I don't know, filming street corners or whatever you're doing for the video right now. It's mini golf, lol.
And he was one of the first people I talked to once I got back. I sent a message about how much of a clusterfuck the trip turned out to be. I finally found the message. I'm not going to show all of it to respect the pronouns of my travel buddy, as well as his response.
Jesus. Bro, leave him up for a bit longer, holy fuck.
As well as his response.
As a result, my friend got really sick and ended up not getting any sleep for the day because they ended up doing less than half the things we initially planned. So a bit more time at the hotel so could rest and recuperate. We did not get the riskiest shots I wanted because we feared we would get shot. That was all the bad, but don't worry, there was also a lot of good. Jeez, I'm sorry, I hope it was still a worthy vacation. It was a worthy vacation-ish. I still have enough footage for something, lol. At the end of the day, isn't that what matters?
Once Quinn switched gears to iCarly Part 2, I, for some reason, ended up being the only editor hired for it. I was the sole editing credit.
Slapping her chest. Right, it's just like, she's so pissed, dude. Lay off the fucking booze if you're doing your big exposed video, for real.
Now, I kept in mind Video 1's 4-week turnaround time, and the fact that summer was coming to an end. I made it clear to Quinn that my availability was limited and that there would come a point where I had to return to school for my final semester. I even showed him my calendar.
By the way, this is how schedule's looking for the rest of August, editing-wise. Jesus, that's a nightmare. Well, I suppose I can put on some other editors in my backlog. I presume the com number is something that would stop you from editing. Correct that afternoon classes, though I should have some time left to edit in the morning. Unless if my school changes its mind, decides we're going to be all at home. Okay.
One additional class was added to that calendar for Mondays and Wednesdays after that, and there was one...
Not showing the full message to respect my friend's pronouns. Bro, what? Explain. Okay, so I assume maybe the transition happened after the messages, and the pronouns were... These are old pronouns. Okay, these are the old pronouns, so they've censored the pronouns in an old message. Oh man, we're so fucking done. It's so over, guys. It's so fucking over.
Do at your own pace class that was entirely online and thus not on the calendar. And instead of showing respect for my time, he would take forever to send me the assets. It left me on the edge, constantly on my toes throughout August and September. And remember, I was the sole editor. There were times I had to beg him for the fucking assets for me to do my job. I even expressed my grievances via message.
I've had a lot on my mind lately about the iCarly project and everything. I wanted to write it all out before I went offline for the night. Thanks again for having me on for this amazing opportunity of getting to edit your iCarly series. Again, this is my first serious editing credit, something I'm more than happy to have in my editing portfolio. As previously mentioned, I only have a couple weeks of summer break left before classes start again. Fortunately, it's 3 classes, so I'm sure I can manage. But that's going to leave me with less time to edit both your project and my own personal projects. I've also been roped into helping a couple of friends with their projects from time to time. I'm starting to seriously consider what I'm going to do after I graduate in December, but lately I can't help but feel frustrated with the lack of ability to work on the project. I've cleared out as much of my schedule as I can this month to be able to edit iCarly Part 2, but there's been radio silence on your end when I would begin editing, and delays on when you would be recording/filming. I've even started to get some bouts of anxiety over the lack of being able to actually do anything for the project. I know you've been busy with other things on your end, I totally get that. However, remember that starting on the 24th I have less time to edit due to classes and other potential school-related commitments. I guess what I'm trying to say is I really, really want to get the ball rolling on recording/editing iCarly Part 2 as soon as possible, so I'd be able to edit everything as it comes. And hey, maybe even get the video up for the season finale, before the finale if everything goes well. Quinton, hun, I love you. I really want to see this project succeed, but I don't have many more days to put things on hold while waiting for iCarly assets to edit. Okay, so it's just basically, oh, Quinton's kind of unprofessional and lazy. This is, so, okay. We've got one thing that could be considered a complaint now. Okay. Oh, this one she leaves up. Okay.
Quinton's response was along the lines of, I hear you, but he didn't address anything I said.
I completely understand your frustrations. I want you to know that the most recent series of delays have not been my choice. Furthermore, if you can't put a huge amount of time on delay for this, I will judge you in no way. I sought out more editors just to make it easier to proceed while working on other people's plans. You did not seek out more editors. Okay.
So, editing Part 2 was hell, to say the least.
I mean, it sounds, but even then it sounds like he's being like, yeah, I know I'm being slow on stuff. I'm not going to have an issue with you if you if it means that you can't, you know, if it means that my fuck ups lead to you being unable to work too much more on the project. That's fine with me. I mean, I assume he's still going to pay. They haven't discussed payment from what I can see yet, so she's a fucking idiot for that. But this is just like it just seems like absolutely nothing. Like, what has she got here?
I worked 6 or 7 hours a day on that video over the span of a little over a month, to the point where I had to skip class from time to time to get the video done. I
had to. You couldn't? Could you not have just asserted with him that I can't do this? Are we gonna see any evidence of you trying to do that?
wanted it to succeed. I felt like, well, the video was my child. I was super attached to it.
Okay, this is on you. This is all on you. This is all your problem. Fucking goth women try not to make their own problems everyone else's challenge. Absolutely fucking impossible, I guess. Okay.
Which, to be fair, is something
Jesus.
I also experienced when working on my own content. September 2021, End of iCarly comes out. Guess how much Quinton offered? $1,300. I asked for $1,700 and he sent it. When I called him out originally,
Okay.
I wanted to highlight this part the most. That he paid me less for doing more. I binged
Less for doing more. Dude. He's actually like a banshee. This is so just wretched, man.
iCarly may have been longer, but as I said, by season 3, 2 more people were added, so I ended up doing less overall for that video than I did for End of iCarly.
This is a good chase to screen that Sam Hyde video. Yes, absolutely yes. Yes, yes, yes. This is that person. This is what he's talking about. Jesus Christ, dude. Fuck me.
Their cut, and I was left feeling listless, weary, like something was wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Quinn still called me his friend. I still gave him notes for Victorious, but I felt like everything was one-sided, that I was giving way more
Is she refilling?
than I was receiving.
There's the refills.
I've been the press knows notes.
We'll skip back in a minute. Let me just see.
For college,
It seems like
where
she's
we made 2 short films.
she's
These
like
classes
right up near the bottom there.
Still gave him notes for Victorious, but I felt like everything was one-sided. That I was giving way more than I was receiving. And then, in November, our friendship fell apart. Final nail in the coffin is still something I'll keep near and dear to my heart.
Is it just she just seemed like completely fake?
But here was my final message to him.
This is the average woman trying to express emotion, okay? They're all reptiles, so they don't actually have any emotions. This is the front they try to give to make other people feel bad, which is the only reason that women ever express anything resembling emotion. This is what's going on here, okay? It's just a manipulation tactic. It's a smokescreen. They have no emotion. They are hollow shells. They are cold-blooded. Okay, let's read this. Regardless if you intend on responding to these messages or not, all bets are off. So I'm going to respond to your bullet point rejection with my own bullet point list of every single grievance I've had working on a project without friendship, bro. Okay. Taking advantage of my flexibility. I would literally leave class early, even when they need all hands on deck, to edit and make sure iCarly 1 would be finished before the revival came out. There would be days when I did nothing but edit, to the point where friends expressed concern for my well-being, and to be fair, part of this is due to my work ethic. I literally had to put some of my own obligations aside because I was never sure when you would send me audio to finish the project. To the point where it seemed like you only started working on stuff the first time I aired my grievances out. 2. Terrible work ethic. I know you have other obligations aside from YouTube, and I do too, but while editing the second iCarly video, I felt as though you weren't doing as much as you could at the time. Especially when I would see you design t-shirts or buy shit off eBay, instead of writing or voice recording. I wouldn't bring this up if it was a 1 or 2 time occurrence. It's happened multiple times and it made me very frustrated. Calling me a great friend and considering part of your circle when you didn't treat me like a friend. I remember one time there was an iCarly episode I had to edit that triggered some traumatic memories from an abusive relationship. I briefly brought this up while editing. Not once did you express concern for my well-being during that episode, and I ended up having to stop. Okay, so you wanted a boss and a therapist. You wanted someone to pay you to be your therapist. Okay. I love BPD women. BPD women, let's go. This is like great behavior. This is like normal human being shit. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and he said it was actually cool if the contrary happened. Oh, fuck me. Stop working for the day because the episode was too much for me to handle. I've never felt particularly emotionally supported by you. Can't afford to be vulnerable around you or otherwise treat like a friend in general. There are other things that have rubbed me the wrong way, like the not good, to say the least, where you reminded patrons of like their relationship with you as parasocial. They aren't grievances per se, but they certainly aren't helping your case. What? Can we see like a bit of that? Like how was he reminding his patrons that relationship was parasocial? Who was saying like, listen guys, remember we're not actually friends. Like, that's totally reasonable.
I wrote it in notes because I wanted my friends to look over it before I sent it. He then gave me a half-assed apology.
That's what I wasn't leaving on red. I try not to stay logged onto Twitter these days. I only log on once every few days. I'm very sorry about all the things that are happening to you because of the project. I had no idea you're stretching yourself so thin for my sake. Had I known, you would have transferred some of your workload to an alternate editor, so she hasn't shown us making this clear, so I can only assume that he's telling the truth here. I'm also sorry I was ever unresponsive about the issues you were having with trauma. I do recall that having that come up. I'm very bad at responding to such things in a way it sounds authentic. I'm sorry about that. It's just a general thing I'm not good at. You shouldn't have to be like good at that in a boss-editor relationship at all. Or client-contractor, I guess. It's totally understandable for you to take time away. Okay.
friend of mine then chewed him out in DMs with my permission, and I got...
Okay, so you sent your cunt friend to go and fucking give him an earful. Nice one. Wow, you look so fucking good in this video, seriously.
booted from his server. And that was that. I spent 4 goddamn months in silence afterwards, hoping for some kind of apology from him. But instead, he self-blocked me on Twitter on New Year's Eve. Part of me thinks he knows he fucked up, but wants to run away from his problems instead of, actually addressing them. I've spent a long time trying to make this more well-known, and, well, it's finally on YouTube, so God knows what'll happen.
Was that not the most wretched thing you ever seen? Like oh, God knows what'll happen, I hope he loses his career. Raising the glass. Fuck me, I hate this person, I hate this person.
And, well, it's finally on YouTube, so God knows what'll happen. Right now, I don't think Quinton wants to continue the iCarly videos. I think he's just chasing a high. His iCarly videos are super successful, so he feels obligated to make these super long meandering works, each one longer than the last, in hopes he can reach those millions of views again. That he can finally get that coveted 1 millionth subscriber. And hey, maybe I'm being petty, but even 2 years later, I'm still pissed off at him for what he did. And besides,
okay,
I know he hasn't changed as a boss, but that's someone else's story to tell. I know that he was indeed creepy to Sarah Z and Lindsay Ellis in Twitter DMs. I know the contents of those.
You just drop, like... Oh, I know he was being creepy to women in DMs. So, do you want to show us some fucking evidence of that? Why are you naming women that he's been creepy towards without their permission as well? This is like a narcissist. This is a narcissist. This is like an absolute bitch.
DMs, but that's someone else's story to tell. What happened to me isn't Quinton's only sin. For all I know, it could just be the beginning. Share this to the people you know, and let's find out. After all, things are seldom what they seem. Non sempre sunt quae evidente.
Okay, so this was nothing other than a great example of why women shouldn't be in the workplace. Okay. Well, great segment. Cool. I don't have anything else to say about this. What a fucking retarded bitch.